Let's do that again, shall we? Hello, welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour doing some questing, doing some Q&A. I'll talk a little bit about what we have going on in the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online. We're heading into our 15th anniversary. That, of course, is at the end of February here, so we've got some anniversary planning in the works. Quite a bit of it, in fact, along with producer's letter work, which is underway. I've seen some work being done this week in regards to the producer's letter. So we know we want to get that to you in the near future, so we'll be talking more about that in the near future. We have an upcoming season of Hardcore a little bit later on this year, not any time immediate, not in the next couple weeks or anything. But that's happening, and then we've got a whole bunch more. That's pretty cool, and you'll find out about it in the producer's letter. So a lot of work went to the producer's letter in some parts of the department this week. Other parts spent some time working on a launcher issue. We're actually working. We have some changes that are coming in the near future that will dramatically improve. Fingers crossed. Dramatically improve patching of the DDO game launcher, and that's cool. We recently saw some work in that regard over on the other game side, and it has led to a dramatic performance improvement for the game launcher. Also introduced a bug that we're patching out in Lotro that you won't see, hopefully, in DDO, because we will have learned our lesson. But that should be coming actually in the very near future. And we've got not next week, just because of the timing of it, not next week, but the week after. So that would be the week of the week of February 7th. You can expect, we're currently targeting, again, fingers crossed, but we're currently targeting to have our first raid preview, our new raid preview on the Mania. In addition, that'll have some anniversary stuff in it as well. So that, I think, is what we're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks here, is work toward the producer's letter. We may try to see if we can have Sev sit down with us for a little bit again. Don't know if we're going to make that happening, but he wants to do it. I want to do it. We think you want to do it. It's just a matter of kind of finding the right time to make that happen. So all of that stuff is in the works right now. Otherwise, I'm on Kyber for a little while, and I'm chronicling a character. Last week, I got started, really, with a process that I continued off-stream, and I did a brief stream just kind of in the evening one night in the past week to show off but to show me doing the actual reincarnation work. I've epic reincarnated, I've true reincarnated, and now Armag on Kyber is, well, he's back to level 3 because I ran a couple of quests as well. In addition to daily dice, which, hey, that was kind of cool. Like this one, I've got a gold roll here. Let's start the... Oh. Yeah, I'll take 7,500 XP. Are you kidding me? Pretty soon I'm not going to even have to do any of this questing, but that's fine. So we're just going to cook along over in Korthos and such while I level up a little bit. It's kind of cool. Alright, I'll take that. Oops. I want this instead. I don't really have any gear yet. I am level 3, however. I actually got the crystal. I failed Kenneth Crystal during that last run that I did on, I guess it was Thursday or Friday, whatever, just because on Elite, if I can't manage the aggro, they will just pop that crystal, and that's what happened. But we're going to see if that doesn't happen this time. I think if it does happen this time, if it happens a second time, then I'll probably just skip this quest. I don't actually need to run it, but that's where I currently sit. So I'll be kind of tearing through Korthos and Keep and some other things in the coming weeks and leveling up and showing the process. I did during the reincarnation stream, which the audio wasn't great, so I wouldn't actually recommend anyone watch it. But it's there for those who really want to see this character through the process, as it were. I've got that happening. So I did show that off. I epic reincarnated, true reincarnated. I pulled in a martial epic past life feat, and I was a fighter. I'm still a fighter. Because Armag is a fighter. Armag is a fighter. That's just what he is. That's what he is. That's what he does. Yeah, see? It's a little hard to solo this one, depending on the class you're playing. And I'm just not really gonna happen. So I think I'm just gonna be okay with that and move on to some other quests here. I could go in on hard or something too, but it just doesn't really matter, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Yeah, I get a hireling to help. I could just do that as well. Yeah, well, I don't actually even need to do Korthos. I mean, I'm level 3 here, so I could just head into Keep. But, yeah. Let's do that, though. Where's the hireling vendor on here? I could do that. I could get a hireling. Here we go. Hireling vendor. Hello, hireling vendor. I will get our favorite. Stream favorite Byron Scout Sword. And I don't even need to really do Korthos. I honestly could just be heading into the harbor and Keep. Although I would not mind having a weapon. That doesn't totally suck. That's mostly why I'm running through Korthos here, is just to give myself a little bit of lobby gear until I hit stuff that I actually have stuff for. Alright, Byron, you could do it.
You can feel the life-saving heat emanating from the...
Yes, I do feel the life-saving heat from all of you in the stream. How are you doing?
Those who would doom Korthos by destroying it.
Look at that sword. Yeah, I don't know why I'm beardless. I'm beardless because I chopped it off at the end of November, and I just decided to go with it for a while. That's it. I'm going to stay back here and actually monitor the crystal here. For these types who like to destroy them instead. Like, gotta be kidding me. Yeah! Fine, I'll just go in on hard and get it done. Alright. Yeah, on Elite, it just, their damage scales up. The crystal doesn't have many hit points. And that's all there is to it. So, alright.
Ahead is the cellar where the Caneth crystal is hidden.
Yeah, it depends on the class and stuff too. A fighter, just a plain fighter, is probably in the worst position. A lot of classes can just sort of face plant at this point through this, but apparently I'm just having some troubles. I mean, I am just using the starter sword right now, so that could be it as well, but whatever. It'll be fine. On hard, we'll just get through this. Watch as I fail. Oh yeah, set higher to attack. Correct. You don't generally need to, but for Byron, but yes. Intimidate too, yeah. What? Use my skills? What are you talking about? Well, for now, I could just drop this in there. It'll be fine. On hard, you just it's really just a scaling issue of the crystal's hit points when you pop up to elite. You get that failure condition because their damage output is just enough that it can slightly outscale your damage output at this stage of the game. That's really all there is to it. And depending on the class, you don't even have to worry about it. Or if you've got a couple people with you, or if you want to have a couple of hirelings, you know, there's a couple different ways to do it, but you can just run it on hard. Unless you really have to be elite. Alright, so let me get to any questions you might have. I think I just kind of did. We have Snow Peaks. Oh, you know what? You know what? I actually do have some news. I have not yet mentioned. Oh, no, I did. We tweeted it out, I think. But Snow Peaks has been extended. And it is currently extended through February 7th. I will get the word out about that today if I have not. That is related to just some of the work. You know, we had to get rid of the frozen keys from the Didio store, and honestly, it just feels like it could go another week. So we're gonna let it go another week, and so Snow Peaks will be running through the 7th, and shut off on the morning of Monday the 8th. I can also, I'll also mention, thanks, Strim Tom. I can also mention that the Fables of the Feywild soundtrack finally got out this week, and that's pretty cool. And you can find that over on the YouTube channel. We often get asked about downloadable MP3 versions, perhaps, of the soundtrack. That's something I would like to do, but we don't currently have the proper, I guess you could say, legal licensing and underlying sort of policy in place that would allow us to create even like a free download version of that. We get around it essentially by putting this stuff on YouTube, and it also makes it then available for you to listen to, and honestly you can use it on your streams as well. This stuff should not be triggering any copyright warnings. So if you just want to run in the background while you're gaming or whatever, it should be fine. And if it's not, let me know. We have control. This is Bill Champagne's music that he wrote for SSG here. So we should be okay. And we can take care of that if we need to. But we shouldn't need to, and that's part of the reason why we kind of have it out the way we do as well, so that people can just kind of have it run in the background of streams if they want. They could have it running in the background of any videos you make, honestly. It's fine. Maybe give Bill a shout out in the credits. Probably should. But, you know, I mean, the idea is that it's fine for other people to use as well. Ideally, someday I'd love to see us offer downloadable versions of it. I really would. We're just not there yet. When will Feywild Guest Passes be coming? My guess is Feywild Guest Passes will be coming at some point after or around when we offer Fables of the Feywild for DDO points. Although, I don't know. Do we actually... Now that I'm thinking about it, though, do we really do a Guest Pass on an expansion? Do we have one for sure?
You have weathered the Southwagen storm. Now, after that traitorous Jacoby Drexelhand, he must have fled into the cellar.
LimeWire.
Drexelhand isn't here.
Oh, that's funny. Alright.
The chamber beyond the secret passage looks ancient, predating Korthos village.
you get warning from some areas of the game with just the normal game sounds music. So most of that is just going to be false algorithm-based things. Particularly, I've seen wind sounds from the game get flagged. From other kind of like more ambient tracks out there where it's like, oh, that's clearly from this new age artist. And it's like, no, that's just some wind. But, you know, but it is not the same sound of the wind. But that's typically all you're going to run into. On the Lord of the Rings side, we've had more issues with the soundtrack than on the DDO side. And we haven't had that many issues overall. But, you know, at one point that was all, like, total Warner Brother licensed stuff and everything. So it's a little more complex. There are expansion guest passes. Okay. Alright. Well, there we go then. There's your answer. Sorry, I didn't know that. In the past, we did a breakdown of dates and store pricing for Sharn and Ravenloft. Ultimately, we were not in a position to set that in stone at the time of release. And I know that people would probably prefer us do that more regularly. All I could say to that is we'll do it as often as we can. But that's not something I really can control. And, yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. But, it should be coming soon, however. Fables of the Feywild, I am not in a position to break a release date on that, as it were, today. But I can tell you that we're currently targeting the pretty near future to offer Fables of the Feywild for DDO points and such. So stay tuned for some info on that. But I can't announce that today. Sorry. Speaking of sorry, let me head on over to Facebook here briefly. Because of that echo thing at the start of the show, I have not had an opportunity to catch up on your chat. Dragonlance, please. Yeah, there was some big Dragonlance news this week, wasn't there? There sure was. Cool stuff. I grew up with the original Dragonlance trilogy. I think I read it in 5th, 6th grade, something like that. So it's near and dear to my heart, as it were. I don't know. I think it's cool. The news is cool, but whatever. It's not DDO related, and I wouldn't. Clearly they are licensed in a way that is perhaps exceptional to some other D&D licensing. So, in terms of would DDO ever get Dragonlance, I'm gonna say probably not. Not that we wouldn't want to or anything. Hey, maybe I'll end up eating these words and it'll happen someday. Who knows, right? But, I wouldn't expect it. We do not have a second raid planned for Feywild. We do have a raid that'll be getting a preview on Lamania, like I said, not next week, but most likely its first preview the week after. But we do not currently have plans for a second Feywild raid. Yes, we still want to do Isle of Dread. The producer's letter will provide more information as to what is next. It's not Isle of Dread in terms of kind of classic stuff. But I want to tell you so bad, but I can't. I'm sorry. It's awesome. I think it's cool. I'm looking forward to our next classic pack, and that should get announced in the producer's letter. Unless you can get Rob or someone to slip up before. But it's not going to be me. Probably. Maybe. This time. Well, as a matter of fact, Luria of Orion, I believe if you are specifically interested in the Morgrave University, 2021 may be a good year for you.
The air grows damp and fetid as the ancient tunnel descends.
The new raid will be getting its preview. Stay tuned for when it actually happens. We'll have more information, but it's set not for... We're planning to do our first Lamania of it. Not this next week, but the week after. Whether that ends up being something Thursday, Wednesday, whatever, I don't know. We'll see as we get closer to it. Potentially, if something happens, it may get pushed out another week or something, right? I mean, who knows? But the intention is to do that within that time frame. So
the tunnel splits here. Which way to the giantish device?
Are we allowed to do more Eberron campaign content? Yes, absolutely. Yes, we'll be continuing to do plenty of Eberron stuff in the future. I'm on Kyber today. Someone is asking about the timeline of the Lamania test server. I don't see a time where Lamania becomes a regular...
If you're careful, you may be able to take the sleeping guards by surprise.
Becomes a regular weekend occurrence. There was a time where it was available on weekends, and I think that may be what you're referencing in your desire to have it not be open a couple days. Unfortunately, I would say that we are likely to continue with the way that we do our Lamania previews, tending to fall during the week for the foreseeable future. Can we get tokens and more quests? You want more tokens of the 12, as it were, and other things. That, I saw some talk about that not all that long ago, in one of the kind of chat amongst the DDO team. So, we'll see. Maybe that's something we could do in the future. I think that there's certainly interest in it. Alright, what else do I got? We need to implement all the SSI Gold Box games into playable content. Cool. That would be fun. Look in the DDO store, low-level adventure packs. Okay, yes. Any way to get in-game chat issues fixed on Wayfinder after switching characters? The chat shows an error guild and party, and only direct tells work. Yes, we are actively working on... Oops. We are actively working on that issue with chat. And hopefully we will have good news for you in the future. But I don't have anything to announce today. On-ship music. That would be cool. Yeah. If we were able to bring in, I think, more of the housing system from the other game, the idea of housing music would probably be more feasible. I don't know what our ability to actually bring that tech over is. They have basically housing music. Actually, I think it is housing music. And anyway, yeah, that would be cool. Sorry.
You spot a rusty hatch submerged in the putrid water.
Will we see an epic pit? If it ever happened, it would be done.
You emerge from the murky water with great relief. The air seems slightly cooler here.
It would be a passion project on the part of particular people, would be my guess, were there to ever be an epic pit. I don't really know that I see us scheduling our resources to specifically do an epic pit. But I wouldn't say it would never happen. So who knows? Who knows? I'd say odds are not good that it'll happen. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. Good job, cultist. Rune arms for cosmetic items. I don't really see that happening. It would be a project. There's some kind of technical and other hurdles, I believe, that would make that not a lot of fun. Cosmetic bags is something we would love to do, but will be... You know, it's got the long-standing issue where it would involve a lot of work on the part of people who work on itemization in the game. And we just haven't been able to schedule it.
Ahead is the giantish device. The freezing mists it is spewing are directed the wrong way. With the right timing, you can get close enough to redirect them.
Yes, I'm playing it safe. Let's see. Okay. I've always let other people do this. Okay, let me see. How do I actually do this now? I do this now over here, so that's gonna have to go... Oops, that way, and this is gonna have to go over this way.
The mist solidifies into ice over the ancient creature, but it's not enough. You need both jets to effect a thing of the
go over here and go what? Oh my god. Alright, well, let me do this the other way then. There we are. Work. So on this one, we'll go over. There we are. There we
A
go.
layer of ice forms over the ancient creature, guaranteeing its slumber.
Cool.
Porthos is safe for now.
Epic Pit sounds masochistic. It would have its fans. You know, as much as the pit tends to be notorious in the game for kind of, I guess you could kind of call it the ultimate love it or hate it dungeon, right? Regardless of all that, though, it absolutely has its fans, and rightfully so. And It's cool, and a lot of people would be into it. So I actually think if we were to do a legendary pit or epic pit, it would probably be a legendary pit, I would guess. I think it would actually be pretty popular. Get my shield back. Also, my better longsword. Where did that go? Alright. Just for now. Do people know? You know, I think most people know this, but just in case you don't know this, at this section of the game, right here, right when those people spawn, if you're approaching it from this way, and they say kneel, and if you type in the emote kneel, they'll let you pass. They will. It's actually the first emote-based action that was ever implemented in DDO that I'm aware of. And, you know, it's been used in Feywild and such, you know, more prominently. But it actually started way back here at that particular section when someone scripted it out that if you type kneel there, it would allow you to get past. I know, it's just easier to get rid of them. Plus, you don't get slayers. There's no reason whatsoever to do it other than it was, I think, just an idea that the person who made it back in the time had and was like, can I get this to work? And there we go. It's true, their name is not Zod. Yeah.
House Caniff first imbued mystical. The doorway ahead has been boarded up. The work looks very recent.
So what I ended up doing with 18 to 20 is I was running in a group, the guild group. We had a couple of 18s. I ended up actually being 19. And because I thought I was going to daily dice one way up, and then I made a math calculation error. And so, no, I didn't. I didn't say that. Anyway, the thing that I didn't do happened, and so then we needed to get a bunch of XP on my level 19. Oops, level 19 character. And so we were doing, like, Evening Star stuff. I got a bunch of Slayers that I hadn't done. And then we also did some of the just kind of walk-ups and such, and that worked out pretty well, so. Oh, he's saying, don't stop in a trap? Don't stop in a trap. Don't stop in a trap. Oh. Thanks. I'll have to start doing that. When can we see me host a raid on live? I have no problem. I'm pretty sure I've done that before, but I have no problem doing that. Yeah. I don't do a ton of raiding in recent years, I'd say. Not as much as I used to. But I still totally like it, and am down for doing it. So, I'm down. I'm down. Maybe let's not do too hot for handle. Too hot to handle. But we could do, so we could just kind of, I mean, we've done I know we've done Chronoscope numerous times on the stream. So maybe not that. But, I know I've shown, Heroic Abbot off on the stream before too. All those failures and such. That was fun. I know we've done that.
Icy jets of some alchemical compound coat these humming painted power crystals in a hard protected layer. You also notice several valves.
So just so you know, I do have spotlights in my face. I'm trying this whole YouTube lighting thing, and it works, but it is a little hard to see sometimes, some of the things. Maybe I'm going to have to adjust some lights or what have you. But nice Iron Maiden shirt, thank you. Yes, Iron Maiden rules. I feel like which one did I not hit? I did not hit. What? Oh, no. 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 Why is my brain not working? Oh, here it is. All right, cool. Sorry, I couldn't see it with the spotlights. Yeah.
You can now easily destroy them. As the last crystal shatters, the hum of power slowly fades into a
Nicely done. All right. Ah, this is Somewhere in Time. It's a replicated. Sure, it's not from the actual Somewhere in Time tour, of course.
Who in the flame are you?
My favorite is personally Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, but I like Somewhere in Time a lot too. I think that trifecta, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is peak Iron Maiden.
Oh no.
Oh, the Sahagin have found me.
Suddenly the air shimmers with devourer magic. The Sahagin have
Yeah,
found
I
you
will.
and are
I will actually, I think, group up in the coming weeks here. As Kenneth Crystal showed, it wouldn't hurt to have a little backup here for the stream. What I mostly want to do, though, is I kind of want to go at my own pace, and be able to both play the game and deal with chat. We haven't had a lot to talk about, honestly, this week. I think this week has been a little slow on the questions from chat in terms of what I can talk about and what I can't. We're right on the cusp of being able to say a whole lot more about our 2021 plans, but we're not quite there yet. So at this point, I still need to mostly tease and tell you that we're working on it. But, you know, we have a lot that's underway right now. So hopefully we'll have more substantive information for you in the coming weeks as we show the anniversary event changes and updates on Lamania. We roll out our anniversary stuff, right? We roll out the new raid, we preview it on Lamania. And then we get that producer's letter out there where we really go about the next, talk about the next classic pack, and really most of the rest of our plans for the year. I think the hang-up, as usual, tends to be what are we doing, what do we want to commit to what we're doing late in the year. And so I think we may, which we've done in the past on producers' letters, especially start of the year ones, right? Where we're a little more vague as to kind of what happens at the end of 2021. And we may need to do that again this year. But we'll see where we are and where we end up. But we're not going to hold up things. We want to get it out as soon as we can. So hopefully that means that it'll be out in time for the anniversary. Would be my hope.
The Swahagan magic is gone.
Weekend bonus, yeah.
This time.
Hayden looks weary after surviving this latest attack. Perhaps you should talk to him again.
Go now. Tell Ursa to hold the barricade just a little longer. Then meet Amalgam at the base of Misery's Peak when you're ready.
With Hayton finally persuaded to help, the people of Korthos might finally
All right,
win
let me
this strike.
take care of this. All right. Power Slave is the one that got me into Iron Maiden as well. I was at the right age, as it were, to really respond greatly to that particular album. I'm calling up the weekend bonus. It's just a little slow right now. If Iron Maiden were D&D players, surely over the years, surely somebody over the years has created Iron Maiden as D&D characters. I mean, it's got to have happened, right? It has to have happened. Oh, I don't know if I picked this one up.
Decrepit catacombs are slightly obscured
I
by
did
the
not.
falling
All
water.
right. Fine, I'll have to go back and get that one. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna show my age, but D&D and Iron Maiden back in the 80s went hand in hand on many a gamer table, I'm going to guess. I know, I'm not saying I don't know of anyone who was into D&D back then who wasn't also into Iron Maiden. Maybe they were lying and they didn't really like Iron Maiden.
This entrance leads down into an ancient Canith aqueduct.
You know someone in school who played an Ozzy character? Totally. Yeah. An epic tangle route in the future. There would be interest in that. But I don't really see us... We kind of go in phases on when we epify older content and such, and I really haven't heard of any plans to go back to some of our classic packs and epify them. It's not to say it won't happen in the future. We've always tended to do that now and then. But I think for at least the medium term, it's going to be new content. I'm heading on over to the bonus. Okay. The this week's DDO bonus days will be determined at a later date. Somebody forgot to write something in. So, what? I don't know. What do you want the bonus to be? What do you want the bonus to be? You know what we can offer.
The cells in this room hold a number of desperate Korthos villagers.
I think we just did VIP XP though. Last weekend, along with the Reaper boost. So I don't think we can... We tend not to do that twice in a row like that. Oops. What did I do? 10% heroic epic? Oh, I'll see what we can do. I'll see what we can do. Don't ask me for a wish list. No ransack for VIP. Okay. Yeah, last week was Champ Hunter, but relatively recently we did, if I recall, a 5% Reaper XP and 5% VIP XP boost. I'm pretty sure we just did that within the past couple weeks. But yeah, I'll take a look. That sounds fine. Is Epic Destiny Sphere work later? That is also coming in the relatively near future, and will be talked about, I believe, in more detail in the producer's letter. But we do, yes, Epic Destiny work is not, by any means, off the plate. It is going to be happening here in the near future. We need the Mimic event again. Yeah, it has been kind of a while on that. I can't remember what the dealio is specifically. But...
You have breached the Devourer's sanctum. From ahead you hear a woman's plaintive cry for help.
You know, we haven't done a guild renown one in a while either. I don't think. I think we should do that. Yeah, we can, I think, we can do, we've done treasure hunter boosts, not, I know we did it over the holidays, so perhaps we can, take a look at one of those in the near future as well. Not guild renown, anything but guild renown? Okay. Crystal Cove is definitely not ready yet. That'll be later this year. Plus, we still have Snow Peaks going on, so we wouldn't want to do Crystal Cove and Snow Peaks. Yeah. Why are they only for the weekend? I know some people find that they wish that it was, like, week-long bonuses. They are bonuses meant to encourage people to log in on the weekends. That's the point of DDO bonus days. Let me see what I'm going. When 50% bonus XP weekends were a thing, we still do those. Those are the Buddy Boost weekends. And we totally still do the Buddy Boost weekends. We'll be doing them again in the future as well. The one I was talking about particular, that was an additional 5% VIP XP. And that also is related to a Reaper XP boost, which was 5%. Our Reaper XP boosts tend to be much smaller in scope than the regular heroic and epic XP boosts. Snow Peaks will be ending on, it'll be running through February 7th. I will be getting word out about that today. So we have this weekend and next weekend on Snow Peaks. So there's still some time to get that in if you would like. time to add something new to the weekend DDO bonus. You know, we've actually had those thoughts ourselves. We'd love to find a few more things to add into the rotation, but I haven't heard of anything. All right. So specifically as it relates to game performance and lag, you know, we have been seeing your reports in recent weeks, and it's something that we are actively looking at. We recently did a patch that was update 28.48.3, and that included some work to deal with a bunch of runaway effects that were causing some specific issues there. We don't currently have active work that we've identified, but we are continuing to look at what your reports are and at the environment and to see what we can do to make the game run as smoothly as possible. So I know that we have some work that's going into game performance both now, short term, medium term, and long term. So I know that that's a thing that we're going to be working on. I just don't know specifically that I have much to offer other than we are looking at it right now. And we did do work on 28.3, and we do have some things identified as areas of investigation, but I wouldn't expect any significant lag game performance improvements in, like, say, the next patch outside of the aforementioned launcher stuff, which is very significant actually, and that it greatly improves the speed of patching for DDO in most cases. Typically the first time we're going to go live with it, you'll patch up the game client, and it'll still be kind of slowish because the game client has to update itself in order to get the benefits. So it'll do that, and then subsequent patches will be much, much faster for you. And that should be coming in the near future. But that isn't what you're asking about in terms of weekend in-game lag. And I recognize that. And that is something that we are also continuing to investigate. But I don't have an immediate change to announce for you on that. So someone is saying update 48.3 didn't address lag in a meaningful way. Clearly not for you. For those who were impacted by those runaway effect issues, it made a big difference, right? But unfortunately, it didn't make perhaps the game-wide difference that we were hoping it might. Yes, Jack. Cindy Robinson will be returning to do more voice work. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Sorry. What am I doing? I need to go pick up Misery's Peak. Already did. What's it? Did I not? What did I not do? Actually, you know what? It's about the end of the show here anyway, so this will probably be as good a place as any. I can regroup and figure out what the heck I'm doing. I need to find Amalgam. That's what I gotta do. Don't want the unholy one. One nice thing of TRing, I got 1.2 mil. That's good. I'm going to throw Thought Spike in the shared bank as well, in case I ever make an Artificer on the game. So, can we have an adventure involving Iron Maiden? Well, we have a reference. All right. All right, that's going to do it with the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Samus Garoba is going to be up in just a couple of minutes. Thank you very much for being with me here today, and we'll have more to talk about, a lot more to talk about in the coming weeks here. as we get closer to our 15th anniversary and beyond. All right, thanks everyone for being here, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.